Everyone, when people think of Buddhism, they often ask, why doesn't Buddhism believe in God? But this question comes from a misunderstanding of Buddhism's depth. Today, we'll delve deeply into Buddhist philosophy and the teachings of the Buddha, much like listening to the words of a venerable monk. Let's start by revisiting the life of the Buddha, or Gautama Siddhartha. He was raised in a palace, enjoying all the wealth and power that life could offer. Yet, when he faced human suffering directly, he began to question the way he was living. He saw the suffering of aging, illness, and death and asked himself, where is true peace and happiness in this world? With these questions in mind, he left the palace and embarked on a path of renunciation. After 6 years of austere practices, he attained enlightenment. The core of his enlightenment lies in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths discovered by the Buddha encompass the nature of life and the path to liberation. First, dukkha suffering means that life is inherently filled with suffering. All the emotional ups and downs, sorrow, loneliness, and death we experience are parts of this suffering. Second, Samudaya origin reveals that the root of this suffering lies in desire and attachment. When we cling to our desires and cannot let go, we experience even greater suffering. Third, Nirodha cessation teaches that seizing these desires is the only way to end suffering. Finally, Magga Path points to the Eightfold Path as the practical guide to liberation. These truths guide us through facing suffering, understanding its roots, overcoming it, and finding a new way of living. It is like a doctor diagnosing an illness and providing a treatment plan. The Buddha taught us the way to heal human suffering. The Eightfold Path is the practice of the Buddha's teachings, consisting of 8 principles that guide us on how to live. These include right view, right intention, right speech, and right action, among others. Particularly significant are right mindfulness and right concentration, which are about observing our inner selves and calming a restless mind through meditation. Mindfulness is not merely sitting in meditation, it means being aware of each moment in daily life. It is about savoring the taste of food slowly as you eat, or feeling the texture of the ground beneath your feet as you walk. Through this, we can dwell more deeply in the present moment. One of Buddhism's core teachings is impermanence anicca. It means that everything is transient and constantly changing. This applies to our emotions, thoughts, and even our sense of self. Painful moments and joyful moments will all eventually pass. Understanding and accepting this change allows us to find freedom from suffering. Similarly, non-self anatta means that the concept of a fixed self is an illusion. The Buddha taught that what we perceive as I is merely a flow of emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Clinging to a fixed identity leads to more suffering. For instance, when we hold on to the idea that I am a failure, it makes us even more unhappy. However, when we let go of this attachment to self, we gain greater freedom. Buddhism explains how our actions shape the future through karma and rebirth. Karma is the principle that every action has consequences. If we treat someone with kindness, that kindness will eventually return to us. Conversely, causing harm may lead to harm returning to us. Rebirth refers to how this karmic principle extends beyond a single lifetime. Even after we die, our consciousness can take on a new form, influenced by the actions we performed in this life. But in Buddhism, rebirth is not merely about being born again. It also represents the repeated patterns and habits we go through in life, leading to recurring suffering. Think of the times we repeat the same mistakes and suffer as a result. This is a small cycle of rebirth in itself. Meditation is a key practice in Buddhism. The Buddha taught that through meditation, we can examine our minds, understanding and dissolving the suffering and attachment within. When meditating, we practice observing our thoughts and emotions in a calm state. Have you ever tried observing your own feelings and thoughts through meditation? In meditation, we train to see all experiences as they are. We don't suppress or avoid our emotions whether they are positive or negative, but simply observe them. This helps us build the ability to watch emotions come and go without getting swept away by them. Mindfulness extends this practice into everyday life, helping us maintain awareness in our daily activities. For example, while eating, we can savor the taste and aroma of food, or notice the feeling of our feet touching the ground as we walk. Such mindfulness practices enrich our lives, adding depth and meaning beyond mere habits. Dependent origination. Everything is interconnected. Another central Buddhist teaching is dependent origination pratyasamutta. This concept means that all things exist in relation to one another. It reflects the realization that everything is connected. Consider how our actions influence others, and how those people, in turn, affect yet others. This principle teaches us how our lives are intertwined with those around us. This teaching shifts the way we view the world. It encourages us to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as part of a web of interdependence. This awareness of our connection to others brings a sense of responsibility toward the environment and society. For instance, small actions we take to protect the environment can have a positive impact on the lives of others. Finally, the ultimate goal of Buddhism is liberation and nirvana. Liberation is about freeing ourselves from all forms of attachment and desire. Nirvana represents a state of complete freedom from all suffering. It is about finding inner calm and peace, free from the disturbances of the mind. The Buddha described nirvana as a state where the winds no longer blow. It symbolizes a mind no longer stirred by desires and attachments. Just as a ship no longer tossed by waves rests peacefully on the sea. Meditation may seem complicated, but it's something we can easily integrate into daily life. Try sitting quietly for just 10 minutes each day, focusing on your breath. As you breathe in and out, let any thoughts that arise simply pass by without clinging to them. Even this simple practice can greatly reduce the noise in your mind and help you find inner peace. Walking meditation is another effective method. As we walk, we can pay attention to the feeling of our feet, touching the ground or the breeze against our skin, savoring each step. Such small habits of meditation and mindfulness gradually transform our attitude toward life, expanding the sense of peace within. Buddhism originated in ancient India, but its teachings remain deeply relevant in today's world. In a society filled with material abundance yet constant stress and anxiety, Buddhism encourages us to look inward, remain present, and discover life's true meaning. Its principles are not limited to religious beliefs, but are closely aligned with modern psychology. For instance, mindfulness meditation is recognized as an effective method for managing stress and anxiety in therapeutic settings. The concepts of karma and interdependence also play a vital role in understanding our relationships and responsibilities in society today. While individualism often dominates modern life, Buddhism reminds us of our deep connections with others, encouraging actions that can have a positive impact on the community and the world. The Buddha's final teaching, be a lamp unto yourself. In his final teaching, the Buddha said, be a lamp unto yourself. This means not relying blindly on external authorities or beliefs, but discovering the truth through one's own wisdom and insight. Often, we look for solutions to our life's challenges from others. But Buddhism teaches that the answers lie within ourselves. We are the authors of our own happiness and suffering, and we can find our way through our own efforts. This teaching encapsulates the non-theistic approach of Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't deny the existence of gods, but emphasizes that regardless of their existence, we have the power to address our life's challenges ourselves. This is why the Buddha often remained silent on questions about the universe's origins or the existence of a deity, focusing instead on the practical path to liberation from suffering.